What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the King and I Life podcast, hosted by myself, Soul Toucher the Poet, and my brother, Son Soul X, in his joint. Check it out. Hit us up, www.kingandilife.com, for all our podcast info. Subscribe to whatever podcast platform that you choose. Also, hit us up, KINGANDEYE369@gmail.com. Email us your suggestions, your feedback, and all that good stuff. Tune in to us live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share, because we are all over all those social media platforms. Stay tuned for the good stuff. Yeah, we out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the King and I Life podcast. So touch the poet, my brother.
Son Soul X.
We are talking about breaking points. Of course, the reference for this is the Baltimore gentleman who killed his girlfriend who was pregnant, and his ex-wife who he had 2 children with. Now, Son Soul X, before we took our break, was talking about overstrapping.
Yes, sir.
Now, I get it. Trust me, I get it. Because growing up in our times, that was the thing. You know, it's either you didn't strap, you strapped, or you double and triple strapped. And you made sure that you were the one to take it off. You made sure you were the one who made those reproductive fluids unusable. So yeah, but at this day and age, although that's game that y'all can take to the bank and use it as you wish,
Yes, sir.
Because it can work. But in this day and age, if you feel that you need to do that, you don't need to be laying down with that person. Period.
Mm-mm.
That's my thing, because you are. Here's the thing about that. If you feel you need to put on 2 and 3 condoms, and I'm pretty sure no man can slip on 2 or 3 condoms without that female noticing. I think that's impossible. But you have to understand what message you're sending to that young lady. Now, don't know the circumstances of why you laid down with this young lady, but for whatever circumstances that you laid down, you have to understand what type of message you are sending. Let's just say you're throwing 2 and 3 condoms, and for whatever reason she gets pregnant. You have a bitter woman right there, because 1 condom wasn't enough, 2 wasn't enough. I guess it was 3 that was enough. But again, you have to look at what you contribute to these situations. Now, again, if you feel you have to do that, you shouldn't lay down with nobody. And you know, although we are in a sexual society where sex is everything, if just refrain. It's so much more mentally relaxing to not have to deal with the repercussions of after sex. Because even if you don't get someone pregnant, when you have sex with any person, feelings are going to get involved, whether it's the man or the woman. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. And that pushes people to their breaking points. It's like, as a man, you have sex with a woman, she feels some type of way, and you're like, nah, it's just sex. She tripping. As a man, you know, you have sex with a woman, and she's like, nah, it's just sex. Dude goes going deep in his feelings. But again, you have to be mindful of what you contribute to these situations and act accordingly. And that's the biggest thing to all of this. Like, you should know or have an idea of what you are getting yourself into when you decide to lay down with a person or enter any type of situation with a person.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing about it, for me, I knew that some of these ladies I was laying down with, we were just having fun. You know,
Right.
we both knew that I don't want no kid out of this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Your freakiness just matched my freakiness. So let's freak it out and see what happens. But
Right.
let's not take it seriously where we are connected for the rest of our lives because we're having a little bit of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was the type that if I was doing that, I will let the woman see me do that
Mm.
because at that point she can get in her feelings if she wants. But at the same time, she has to know that I'm protecting myself and I'm protecting you.
Right.
Whether that be, sexually transmitted diseases or,
Mm-hmm.
worst case scenario, having a child out of this. And we both
Right.
know that, you know, we're not feeling each other for the long term. We're just feeling each other for the night or for the moments. You know what I mean?
There for a good time, not a long
That's
time.
it. So, um, again, I just did that because I wanted them to know that I'm not trying to mess up what you got going on. I damn sure as hell ain't
Mm-hmm.
trying to mess up what I got going on. And
Right.
that wasn't, saying that she was cheating or I was cheating. It was just back then I had a lot of shit going on. Like the boy
I
was
get
moving
it.
around a
I
lot.
get it.
Um,
I dig it. I can dig it.
so I just didn't need that type of extra stress or drama in my life. So
Mm-hmm.
having a kid was not a part of my bigger plan at the time.
Right.
Um, but the thing about what you're saying was we have to be smart with who we lay down with. So um, again, you have to be smart about who you decide you want to share your egg with. You have to be smart about who you want to share your sperm with.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, like I said, if I had a daughter, I would be more harder on her about being intimate with somebody than I would my son.
Mm-hmm.
And that's simply because I know that as my daughter, she's going to carry most of the responsibility, meaning physically, she has to carry this child.
Right.
My son, if he was to do something like that, he just contribute to this young lady's life.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm gonna be hard, I'm gonna be, ticked off with him. I know that not only did he take his life off course, he just completely and totally took her off course.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as parents, this is something we have to really sit down and talk with our kids about.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of us come from single parent homes. Um, Again, me, I came from a two-parent home, but my father was gone for a good portion of my upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's just one of those conversations we have to have as men with our kids, as women with our kids. You have to let them know what comes behind having a kid out of wedlock, having kids before you are ready, and the list goes on and on. I mean, there are so many
Mm-hmm.
things that comes with having a child. Um, would I abandon my child if he was to have a child before he was ready? No, of course not. Would I be highly disappointed? Hell yes, I would.
Right.
Because I know that I've done everything I know to do to help him foresee the future. He just refused to
Mm-hmm.
take my advice. Um,
Mm.
but with this particular situation, this man, again, he placed himself in a situation with these women where pain was too overwhelming for him. Too overwhelming. It's like anytime you see somebody who's in a suicidal state, mentally their pain limit has been broken and pushed to a limit where they can't sustain it anymore. It's kind of like
Yeah.
the damn ship that's been wrecked at sea, taking on water. You're trying to get the water off, but it's coming on just as fast as you get it off. So eventually, you're gonna lose that battle. But
Mm-hmm.
were you smart enough to send out an SOS first? Me, I need some
Right.
motherfucking help. Somebody, please get me some help. Meaning, let me get myself some motherfucking help. It's
Yeah.
necessary. It's needed. I gotta have it. I'm taking on way too much water.
Yep. Um, when you talk about having that conversation with your children, um, these days, although it's hard for some to have this conversation with their children, we also have to keep in mind that these children ain't listening these days. And they think they know it all. And no matter how much you try to talk to them, they ain't trying to hear you. Um, I can say for sure, me and my oldest son's mother, we constantly was in his ear about, yo, make sure you don't get nobody pregnant. Make sure you graduate high school. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do that. Senior year of high school, you got somebody pregnant. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And what these children and some adults don't understand is once you put yourself in that situation, a situation that you created, it's no longer about you. You have to take that mindset of me, and divide that into us because it's no longer just you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that child is a factor in your life, in your movements, and and you just got to keep that in mind. I don't understand um how people just don't take it serious. It's a serious thing that you have to um take on. And if you are already not mentally strong in certain degrees, it's going to take from where you are strong at. It's going to bring you down to a different level. And you must understand that you are no longer it's not about you. And two parents need to understand it's not about us, it's about this child. We have to do everything that we can do within our power, within our situations to make sure that we come together for this child. Um, to switch gears a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
I looked at that other video that you sent me where the guy took his sons to get haircuts, and the mother of those children was making an unnecessary scene. And it's stuff, and I love the way that he handled that situation. He pulled out his phone, he was recording it, and this, that, and the other. Great, great, great. Grandma comes in the picture and she's acting irrational just like her daughter. But at the end of the day, these are situations that we're talking about in this conversation. It's like that right there could have easily went left. Like he could have easily took it a different way. But I love how he didn't curse her out. He didn't disrespect her. He didn't put her hands on her. He he was very respectful under the circumstances, and he recorded that. And that's what I'm talking about, where you need to document what is happening, because you take that to court, she got problems. Her mother has problems. And then she's approaching a child that's in his car. They got problems. Because at the end of the day, what is your problem? Why are you upset? He took his kids to get their haircuts. Okay, yeah, he was an hour late. Now, it doesn't say anything in that video whether he communicated with her or not. But in either case, what's the big deal? He wasn't running out the state with the kids. Um, but you want to know where they got their haircuts at? For what? Bro.
Yeah, it was crazy. Um, Watching him have to go through that. And again, he did all those things that he should have did to stay in his man frame. Meaning he didn't put his hands on her. He didn't curse her out. He didn't, make a big scene, even though, these two women were acting appropriately towards his other child that they had in the car. Um, you have to damn near document everything.
Yep.
It's a shame that we've come to a place in our society where that is the only protection you have is your damn cell phone.
Right.
You have to record, your interaction with certain individuals simply because you have to protect yourself because you know that this person is not stable.
Mm-hmm.
So had he not recorded that, either one of those ladies could have called the police. Um, and of course, gotten the wrong information. Cops pull up. They already have the wrong information. Next thing you know,
Mm-hmm.
guns are being drawn. He's been thrown to the ground. I mean, the situation went really left really fast. So that's something I would encourage anyone to do. When you're dealing with a male or female who's not rational, who wants to blow things way out of proportion like that, document it for your own personal safety.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I was telling Soul Toucher earlier about a friend of mine who was in a situation where he was being taken to child support court. Now, my friend, I can't recall who gave him the advice, but he was smart enough that he took every receipt. If he bought his child a candy bar, if he bought his child some shoes, clothes, if he paid for daycare, whatever it was, if he gave her money, for child support, he gave it to her in the form of a damn money order. And he kept it in shoe boxes, ladies and gentlemen. Shoe boxes.
Mm.
So she pulled him back into court, the mother of his child. I can't remember if he had one or two kids with her, but anyway, she pulled him back in court. He presented his uh, case to the judge, meaning all his receipts, showing what he kept a ledger of when he picked his kids up, what time he dropped them off, what they did for that
Mm.
day in some cases.
Wow.
But he documented everything from A to dang Z. Presented the information to the judge. The judge said, "Hey, uh, ma'am, as far as I can tell, this gentleman is doing everything he needs to do to take care of his kids. I don't think an increase in child support is necessary."
Mm.
So she lost her case. But again, my friend
Rightfully so.
was smart enough to document everything. And again, anyone who's in a situation like that, that's what me and Soul Toucher, we're trying to give you the game here a little bit. Document every freaking thing. And I know it's a headache. I know you don't want to do it. But when you're in a situation like this, not only are you looking out for yourself, you're looking out for your child. Because if you can't even pay your own damn rent because you're paying child support, it's not going to take long before you're out on the street. If you're out on the
Yeah.
street, how much longer do you think it's going to be before other things occur to make you lose your job?
Mm-hmm.
There's a order and a process to everything. You just got to be smart enough and wise enough to put everything into proper perspective for your life.
Yeah. And that's the thing about documenting everything when it comes to situations like that. I think ego and pride plays too big of a part in a lot of these situations. For the two situations that we're talking about, with the guy who you know killed his girlfriend and ex-wife, and the young lady who was given the father of her children all this nonsense, is ego and pride plays too much of a role in that stuff right there for that side of it.
Yeah.
On the other side of it, when it comes to documenting and you know making sure you have good records of everything that you did, and where the good stuff, this, that, and the other, you that you held up your part, and that other parent is not. Put your ego aside and pride to the side. If you have to document what you are doing, document what you are doing, because what's going to happen is you're going to go to court or get pulled to court, because you might say, you know what, I'm tired of this, I'm going to go this route. Or they may say, I'm tired of you, I'm going to get you. If you have good documentation of what you did, what you paid for, what they said, what they tried to prevent you from doing, and you know, if you have all of that and you present that in court, that person has to answer to all of what you documented. And if they don't know you documenting all of that stuff, they are going to be so caught off guard that they're not going to know what to say, and they're going to look foolish. Just like this young lady, giving this man business about his kid taking his kids to get a haircut. Play that video in court, ma'am. What was the purpose of this? What was the purpose of that? And oh, because he took his children to get a haircut, to get haircuts. Why did you need to know where? Oh, because no. Why did you need to know where? Now, if he told her, "Hey, I'm going to be late," and he can prove that he told her that, okay, he has evidence that he told you he's going to be late. Why were you making a scene? Oh, because blah, blah. No, 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 no. If he told you he was going to be late, why did you make a scene? Now, they met in a public place. So I'm going to assume that they had to meet in a neutral location to exchange the children.
All right.
That's another problem. And then for her to be all up in his car, ma'am, why were you in the car questioning the minor? Oh, because no, 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 no. Is that your child? Is that your responsibility? No, but no, there is no but. Now, outside of that, why were you conducting yourself like this in front of your children? Oh, because no, no, no. Do you realize what you are putting those children through? Oh, but he, no, no, no. I need you to answer the questions here. When you document everything that you have to do and you are on the up and up, that person does not have a leg to stand on. And this is what we need y'all to understand as men, especially as men. These situations don't have to go this far. You don't have to be stressed out. You don't have to put yourself in a situation to where, oh, they're doing this to me and they're doing that to me. Realize what you are contributing to a situation and also know all of your legal options when it pertains to these situations.
Yeah. And again, the thing about it is be detailed when you write things down. Write down
Yes.
time, write down date, write down location. Hell, if you have to, write down what you were wearing that day. I mean,
Yes.
the details, as crazy as it may sound, come in so handy. In my line of work, um, I often write shit down
Mhm.
simply because when you're dealing with, some of our clients, they forget shit. And then they'll swear up and down, well, I never said that, or I never agreed to that. No, no, you did, because I wrote it down.
Mhm. They conveniently forget.
Yep. So I can't tell you how many times that has saved me, because when I go back through my notes, I'm like, oh, okay, so this is what we actually did here.
Mhm.
It'll save you a whole lot of headache, people. Whole lot of headache.
Oh yeah. And no, another thing that when it comes to details and taking notes and documenting stuff, one thing, because of my background in the military security and just stuff like that, every time I go somewhere I look for cameras.
Heck yeah.
I look for cameras.
Heck
I
yeah.
look for where the cameras are and all of that stuff. So for individuals out there who have these situations to where they're being stressed and pushed to their breaking points and this, that, and the other, and you are doing the right thing, say, hey, well, I went to such and such place and this, that, and the other, and this other person, oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Hey, well, they have cameras. Go pull the footage from the camera. This is where I was with my children. You're trying to stress me out and push me over the edge and get a reaction out of me, this, that, and the other. But hey, this is what it is. And my whole point to this is again, this does not have to end violently.
No, I don't.
It does not have to be an ugly situation. It's so easy to get along for the sake of the children, even if you and that other person are not vibing with each other. Again, it's heartbreaking that stuff um, ends this way. The first video, I remember him saying, it's the holidays. I don't have no family and no this and no that. And it's like, listening to that, I can't, I cannot look at that and say he didn't have other things going on.
Right.
Um, and he just wasn't equipped to deal with whatever things he had going on in his life, whether it was related to that or not. At the end of the day, you know, this was a choice that was made, and lives were destroyed, lives were lost, um, and it was for nothing, just for nothing.
Yeah. I mean, again, when you're dealing with someone who's aggressive, you have to be smart enough to outthink the situation. I'm not saying you got to be smarter than them, but I'm saying you have to be smart enough to outthink the situation. So
All right.
let's say uh, the man is aggressive, just for the sake of argument. Meet him in front of the damn police department if you have to do a child
Yeah,
exchange. I'm the type, I will
yeah,
go up in the damn police station and say, hey, um, can I talk to the officer in charge?
Mm-hmm.
I'll make them aware of what the situation is. Hey, I have joint custody with my ex-girlfriend or um, this person here. We've had situations where things have gone or turned violent or turned left, and I just wanted documented that I came and talked to you to let you
Mm-hmm.
guys know that anytime I pick my kids up or drop my kids off, it's going to be here in front of the police department, and they'll
Yeah.
document.
Yeah.
That's part of their job to protect and serve. So
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna make notes. I promise you, he is. And if you don't remind him, please document it. But
Yes, indeed.
what I'm saying is, you just got to be smart enough to, again, one, protect yourself, two, protect your child or your children. Outthink the situation. Just try to come at it from the most positive angle that you can.
True that. Yo, it's King and Our Life podcast. Boy, so touching poke, my brother.
Son, so Lex.
And yeah, we're gonna be back. Yeah, we'll be back.
For sure.